So in today's video, we're really going to focus on lower body ballistic exercises. In the previous lectures we've done on medicine balls, we looked at a lot of upper body ballistic exercises. So a lot of upper body ballistic exercises are throws, and a lot of the medicine ball work we've done previously was throwing. So today we're going to look at some examples of lower body ballistic exercises, and we're going to focus in mainly on probably one of the most common ones used, and that's the barbell jump squat. So essentially it does what it says on the tin really. It's much like a squatting pattern, but it's an explosive ballistic squatting pattern. Instead of decelerating the bar and just locking out at the top, we are driving all the way up through the movement and propelling ourselves off the ground with the bar on the back. Okay, so there are a couple of key things that we need to be aware of when we're doing the barbell jump squat. Essentially we have to keep the bar on the back. Even when we jump, if the bar is wobbling or bouncing up off the back, that's going to be quite an impact when we land again, especially if we're not used to the exercise. So we have to make sure the bar is locked tight into the back, and that way we're not going to allow for any sort of excess forces or unstable forces to push us off into bad positions. Apart from that, there isn't a huge amount much different to the squatting pattern except for depth. You don't need to go down all the way to femurs parallel to the ground or below, as you would like to look for in a squatting exercise. So essentially a barbell jump squat should mimic the depth you actually go to when you jump. Now if you jump from particularly low height, then fair enough, you might want to go down to that low height during the downwards phase of the squat. But if you have a particularly shallow jump height, mine's about there, so it's probably about just below a quarter squat really, that's where I go to. I don't need to learn to develop the ballistic power or the ballistic exercise from below that if I commonly jump from a much higher position. I want to mimic what I do in the sporting situation, and if this is my comfortable jumping position, that's where I go from. Okay, so with the barbell jump squat, we don't need to worry about going all the way down, and we want to make sure that bar is tight to the back. Apart from that, it's pretty similar cues and setup to an actual squat. Okay, so we just want to have a quick chat about grip for the barbell jump squat. Now, as we just mentioned, we want to prevent that bar from bouncing up off the shoulders when we jump. Okay, we want the bar and ourselves to move as one unit. If that bar bounces up and then we land and then the bar bounces back down on top of us, okay, it's going to be very unstable. It's not going to be a smooth movement. Where if that bar stays drilled into our shoulders the entire way through the movement, we control that force a lot better. So, as you would for a normal squat grip, set yourself. In a normal squat grip, knuckles are essentially pointing up towards the ceiling, okay? And there's absolutely nothing wrong with doing a barbell jump squat like this. What you want to do is pull down into the bar, really pull it into your upper back, tightening everything up and getting a really solid position. If we keep that active pull throughout the entirety of the jump squat movement, it's unlikely that bar is going to bounce up off the back. What we can do if we see people having issues with keeping the bar attached to the back throughout the movement is we can look at more of a clamp grip. And a clamp grip is essentially rotating forward and making sure that the knuckles are pointed more forward rather than upwards like so. Okay, the clamp grip is generally a little bit better because now the entire hand's on top of the bar, so it's going to really prevent us from moving the bar off our shoulders throughout the movement. Now some people may not have the mobility for it, some people may get a bit uncomfortable with it, but if they can do it, and the bar popping up off the back is an issue, the clamp grip might be a quick way to sort it out. So you've just seen examples there of myself performing the barbell jump squat and using a number of different loads. And that's one of the main advantages of the barbell jump squat as a lower body ballistic exercise. Okay, it's very nice and easy enough to actually load up a person with the barbell jump squat. Some of the other lower body ballistic exercises are a little bit more tricky to load up and probably can't be loaded up as much. So by adding the load, we're getting the ability to target different areas of the force velocity curve with this one exercise. So if I was, for example, just to do a counter movement jump, that's essentially pretty much a barbell back squat or a barbell jump squat just without the barbell. So that's primarily right down at the velocity end of the spectrum. That's going to be as explosive as I can because I'm just shifting my body weight. It's going to be as fast as I can because I have no external resistance. On the barbell, when we add the barbell and start adding load, start adding 10s, 15s, things like that, we're adding a lot more external resistance. And such, we're going to be targeting different areas of the force velocity curve, maybe speed strength or strength speed if we load up high enough. Okay, we're still trying to move the barbell as explosively as possible, but with the added external resistance, we're going to be targeting just a different area of the force velocity curve. So the barbell jump squat is a great exercise that can be loaded up very efficiently and used for a number of different reasons in ballistic training.